Ministries, Season 2, Episode 2.
Yes, and we are discussing The Four Horsemen by Dr. John Gottman. We watched part of his YouTube video this past week. He's most excellent. But anyway, he talks about the 4 predictors of divorce if you practice these on a regular basis, and how with almost 90-something% accuracy, these bad habits will lead you down the wrong path.
They have a test, and I have no intentions of taking such a test, as the results would probably be frightening.
No, but he did say a percentage of the time, like all of us default, of course, to our flesh nature, but it's what you do most of the time that matters. So last week we did, what was it? Criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Criticism.
Yeah, we did criticism.
And I got to scold you about the bell pepper.
She felt real natural about it.
So
Came too easy.
If you're on YouTube, we will link that one below if you want to check that one out. So anyway, we are talking about contempt today. Contempt, the second horseman. And contempt is a toxic, negative communication pattern. This was actually, I think they said, the worst one out of the 4. Like, it was the most severe. You want to read about it?
Okay, so yeah, contempt. It's just mean.
Just plain old mean.
Treating another with disrespect, mocking with sarcasm, ridicule, calling each other names, mimic or use eye rolling.
Can you eye roll?
I can.
Let me see how you do it. Okay.
Scoffing. Contempt is a level up above criticism, where criticism attacks partner's character. Contempt assumes superiority. Contempt has a cruel element.
So superiority, you mean like talking down to?
Right, where it's somebody is just better at everything than the other, whereas they know better.
Like a high horse.
Right.
Horseman! There you go. It's a high horseman.
What, narcissistic you would think? Maybe.
Yeah, that word's thrown around a lot. Yeah. Okay.
Contempt has a cruel element, whether intentional or non-intentional, is the single greatest predictor of divorce. Creates a toxic atmosphere of annoyance.
Everything is annoying.
Yeah, what's it now? Studies show contemptuous couples are more likely to suffer from infectious illnesses.
This was interesting to me. Yes. Like, more likely to catch a cold.
Yes.
Or flu-like
Flu,
cold.
etc.
Because if you think about it, like, didn't they do a plant study, like if you talk positively or negatively to plant, like cells respond.
You gotta soothsay your plant.
But seriously, like negative atmospheres, darkness grows.
Yeah.
And sometimes that darkness can look like sickness. Yeah.
So what would example of contempt be? I don't know. What do you think that would look like?
Contempt. Well, maybe we should just like role play a little bit.
We can try.
Okay. All right. Well, so Adam, I was thinking about
Thinking. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you ready to listen to me now? Or?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. So I was thinking about creating this like beautiful, like grow our own garden. Like I want to do like, picture tomatoes, my own lettuce, fresh herbs, and we can just, so we can like put the garden, vegetables all on a plate, put them out on the porch, have a nice little romantic picnic.
I'll tell you what, I have an even better idea. Why don't we just hit the fast forward button on that little idea of yours? And, let's see what that looks like.
What do you...
This is the embodiment of every great idea you come up with.
This is Gretchen. This is my plant Gretchen. No, I don't name my plants. But this, there's a story about this. Oh, it does have some cobweb action.
Yes, this is a prime example of everything you put your hands on.
Oh my goodness.
Every great idea
Gretchen
is embodied in this plant. So let's just skip this great idea and move on to something else.
Well, I think I could also like press these for dried herbs and then frame them. There's probably a way to salvage it, but
You just full of great ideas.
the thing is, it had little bugs at the bottom of it, and so I just plopped it outside, and I guess too much sun got to. I didn't water it for like over a week. Maybe that had something to do with it.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, so what do you think about my garden idea?
I think it's ridiculous, nonsensical, and I think you have far better things to do with your time.
Well, that's just disrespectful.
Exactly.
You forgot the name calling, by the way, Adam. Miss Green Thumb over here. Anyway, so contemptuous is where so one thing I thought about contempt is everyone has an inner critic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of like your inner critic role playing with my inner critic. So a lot of times, this is factual. This plant, I probably don't need to take up gardening, and this really was a plant that this is true.
But she cared for it so lovingly.
I did. Like, this ended up being my herb plant. I'm so sorry. This happens all the time. I get caught up in writing and stuff. But, yeah, so, it's like my inner critic and your inner critic kind of role-playing. So it is a true fact that I'm not good with plants. But it's instead of, like, attacking the problem, you're attacking the person.
Right.
With contempt, yeah. So yeah, just don't do it. Don't do it. You'll end up with a big old stack of resentment in your marriage, and then you'll just wonder what's wrong, and you'll end up having hurt feelings, and then you'll wonder why you have a negative atmosphere in your marriage. So I'm just going to give a verse. So what would be the opposite? Like they said, take ownership of the problem.
Yes.
So I would say, yeah, I did do a bad job on this plant, but I still would like to do my garden outside. So you agree with the fact, but then you're deflecting and you're not, I'm not denying like this plant is so green and lovely. You don't deny the problem.
No, I mean you can talk through the challenges that maybe you perceive your spouse may face in these endeavors.
Right.
Saying, hey, how might we be able to overcome some of these challenges together?
Yes, exactly.
As opposed to attacking that person's, character, past perceived failures. You need to build up your spouse and not tear them down.
Right.
At every
you don't want to crush their
corner.
spirit. You want to protect the spirit of the marriage.
Right.
Yeah. So we're just going to close with this verse. This is Psalm 50:23. Y'all, I did KJV, so it's kind of like proper. But whoso offereth praise glorifieth me, and to him that ordereth his conversation aright, I will show the salvation of God. So when we put it into practice, when we actually show respect to our spouse, that is when we are going to experience the results of salvation that God intended and that he so graciously gave his life for us.
Yes.
So order your conversation aright, knowing that you'll have good results.
That's right. That was the second Horseman. If any of that may have sounded familiar,
resonated,
it's okay, but it's okay to identify these behaviors and patterns and make efforts to turn that corner.
Y'all, and I'm not going to do gardening anytime soon.
Hopefully not.
Have a great week.
Bye.